The debate over whether hybrid big cats should be allowed to breed raises ethical, ecological, and conservation-related questions that challenge traditional wildlife management practices. Hybrid big cats, such as ligers, lion-tiger hybrids, tigons, leopons, and jaglions, are the result of crossbreeding between species that would never naturally interbreed. These hybrids have captured public fascination due to their unusual size, distinct physical features, and unique genetic combinations. Ligers, the most well-known hybrid, grow significantly larger than both lions and tigers, reaching over 1,000 pounds in some cases. Tigons, a cross between a male tiger and a female lion, are generally smaller and exhibit more genetic health complications. While hybrid big cats are rare in the wild, they are intentionally bred in captivity, particularly in private zoos, exotic pet collections, and entertainment industries. Supporters argue that hybrid big cats offer scientific insights into genetics, physiology, and evolutionary biology, advancing knowledge of feline species. Some claim that allowing hybrid big cats to breed could increase genetic diversity, potentially helping to prevent inbreeding in small captive populations. Others believe that hybrids could be used in controlled breeding programs to create stronger, disease-resistant big cats for conservation purposes. However, most wildlife conservationists strongly oppose intentional hybrid breeding, citing ethical concerns and risks to species preservation. Big cat hybrids often suffer from genetic health issues, including bone malformations, heart defects, and fertility problems caused by mismatched parent species DNA. Many hybrids experience growth abnormalities, with ligers continuing to grow throughout their lives due to the absence of a growth-limiting gene found in their parent species. These animals often live shorter lives than purebred big cats, raising concerns about their long-term welfare in captivity. From an ecological standpoint, hybrid big cats have no place in natural ecosystems, as they do not occur in the wild and lack defined ecological roles. If hybrid big cats were introduced into wild environments, they could disrupt local food chains and compete with native species for resources. Critics argue that breeding hybrids diverts attention and funding away from critical conservation efforts focused on protecting endangered wild populations. Conservationists prioritize the preservation of wild lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars, rather than creating artificial hybrids with uncertain survival potential. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, and other conservation organizations do not recognize hybrid big cats as a species, further reducing their conservation value. Many wildlife sanctuaries refuse to house hybrids because their existence does not align with efforts to maintain genetically pure and ecologically viable big cat populations. Ethical concerns also surround the commercial breeding of hybrids, as many are bred purely for profit, with little regard for animal welfare. Exotic animal breeders and private zoos often promote hybrids as attractions to draw visitors, exploiting them for tourism, social media attention, and financial gain. In some cases, hybrid cubs are separated from their mothers too early and used for cub petting attractions, an industry widely criticized by animal rights groups. Because hybrids are not part of accredited conservation breeding programs, they are often euthanized, abandoned, or sold once they are no longer profitable. Hybridization also raises concerns about the dilution of pure genetic lineages, which could further complicate conservation efforts for endangered big cat species. If hybrids were to breed with wild populations, the genetic integrity of already endangered species could be compromised over time. Some argue that natural hybridization occasionally occurs in the wild, particularly in regions where tiger and lion habitats overlap. There are rare cases of tiger-lion hybrids in India, but these are isolated incidents rather than a widespread natural occurrence. Proponents of hybrid breeding argue that genetic research on hybrids can improve understanding of big cat evolution and adaptation. However, most scientists believe that studying wild big cats in their natural habitats is a more ethical and effective approach to conservation research. Another major issue is that many hybrid big cats struggle to thrive due to behavioral inconsistencies between their parent species. Lions are social animals that rely on pride structures, whereas tigers are solitary hunters, making hybrid offspring prone to behavioral confusion. Tigers and lions also communicate differently, meaning hybrid offspring may face challenges in understanding social cues from either species. Due to their unnatural size, some hybrids develop joint problems, mobility issues, and metabolic disorders, making them difficult to care for in captivity. Even if hybrid breeding were strictly regulated, there is no clear conservation benefit, as these animals cannot be released into the wild. Legally, hybrid big cats exist in a gray area, as they do not fall under the same legal protections as purebred endangered species. Some wildlife protection laws do not apply to hybrids, making them more vulnerable to exploitation, illegal trade, and unethical breeding practices. Activists argue that stronger legislation is needed to regulate the breeding of hybrid big cats and prevent their use in unethical industries. Conservationists suggest that zoos and sanctuaries should focus on breeding purebred species rather than investing resources in hybrids with no wild conservation role. Most reputable big cat rescue organizations focus on rehabilitating and protecting purebred lions, tigers, and leopards, rather than promoting hybridization. Animal rights groups advocate for banning commercial hybrid breeding, arguing that these animals suffer more for human entertainment than scientific progress. There is also concern that breeding hybrids normalizes genetic experimentation, encouraging further manipulation of wildlife for human curiosity rather than ethical conservation. Scientists warn that hybridization without clear conservation goals could lead to unintended consequences, including overpopulation in captivity and irresponsible ownership. While hybrid big cats are fascinating, their existence raises more ethical concerns than conservation benefits, leading most experts to discourage their intentional breeding. Instead of promoting hybridization, resources should be allocated toward preserving wild habitats, preventing poaching, and strengthening conservation programs for existing big cat species. Some believe that hybrid big cats should be allowed to live out their lives in ethical sanctuaries, but future breeding should be strictly controlled or prohibited. The debate ultimately boils down to whether science and ethics justify continuing hybrid breeding, or if it should be phased out entirely. Regardless of public fascination, the future of big cat conservation should focus on protecting species in the wild, not creating artificial hybrids for captivity. As genetic science advances, society must decide whether hybrid big cats represent a step forward in understanding wildlife or an unnecessary human-driven experiment.